Dr. Coates is one of the most remarkable neurologists I've ever gotten to work with. She has an incredible focus in research that made her one of the heroes of ACVIM medicine, but also an incredibly clinically capable and compassionate person.
I think when you meet Joan, what comes across is a passion for neurology and a hyper-disciplined love for the history of not only our college, but also for the literature and for the contributions that all of our predecessors has made. And I think she holds herself to this really high standard of matching the giants that came before her, and in doing so, she became a giant herself.
I've always wanted to be a veterinarian since I was young, around 8 years of age. My interest in neurology grew from learning neuroanatomy, neurophysiology. Not many of my classmates wanted to see the neurology cases, so I went ahead and helped myself to those. Neurology is like a puzzle, for me, very logical. It also involves both medicine and surgery, so I got to use all facets of veterinary medicine.
I think the first thing I remember about Joan is how much she blushes. And so it can mean she's embarrassed, it can mean she's angry, it can mean she's excited, but she has a tendency to get the brightest shade of red I've ever seen on a person. And I know she hates that because it gives away her emotions, but I think it's very endearing.
She and I initially connected because I found her to be kind of a quirky, funny woman with a deep heart that just cared. And cared more than anyone I had really encountered.
I loved the way that she would challenge the students. I would say that some students may be intimidated by her, but it's only because she is just so brilliant that we don't want to disappoint her or let her down. My favorite saying that she would tell the students a lot is keep an open mind.
Resident training is probably one of my biggest passions. It's really important to train the future. And I have had the opportunity to train many wonderful residents who have all become successful in their own ways. It's one of my most important contributions.
She expects a lot out of her trainees. She expects a lot out of her colleagues, but she's got a big heart and she's very thoughtful. I'm especially privileged to have been one of her colleagues, but I'm really grateful to have been one of her friends too.
Her publication in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science was one of the 30 most read papers in the country that month. She's continued to study the disease, to work on finding mechanisms behind how the mutation causes the disease, and develop therapies that will not just help dogs, but will help people with ALS.
I feel like I've had the most impact on the study of canine degenerative myelopathy. We, as a group here, found a mutation in the superoxide dismutase 1 gene, which underlies a risk factor for degenerative myelopathy, has many similarities to amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or ALS.
When I was at ACVIM Forum a couple of years ago, I was walking through the exhibit hall. There was a booth with a group that were supporting corgis and corgi health. And I stopped at the booth, talked to them for a minute, and I told them I actually work with Dr. Joan Coates, who's worked on it. They were fangirling all over the place. They was, oh my God, you know Dr. Coates. And I was like, yes, I know Dr. Coates. They just couldn't say enough wonderful things about the improvements and the advancement that she has made for their breed, the corgi, but for all dogs with degenerative myelopathy.
When the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge was happening, if you remember that. So she and I participated in that challenge together. We stood in the underwater treadmill, and one of our veterinary students and our residents dumped huge buckets of ice on our heads.
She was an exchange student when she was in high school, and she happened to stay in my hometown, which is a very, very small. On my first day or second day after meeting her, we had a chat, and that we kind of discovered each other, that we spent a year in the same town, and ever since then, I felt very connected with her.
I was very surprised to receive the Kirk Award. I'm extremely humbled and honored. There are many deserving individuals, and I'm extremely grateful to all my mentors and colleagues who have been a part of this along the way.
Joan, congratulations on this honor. You deserve it so much. I hope that I can be like you someday, Joan.
This award is really just a highlight of the amazing professional that you are, what you have brought to our profession through your work, through your teaching. I feel very privileged to have been your mentee.
You literally changed my veterinary career, and I am very, very happy to be able to call you a great mentor and a good friend.
Joan, we've known each other over 30 years, going back to Auburn. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award. Congratulations. Allow yourself to take this in. You can cut the humility just briefly for this.
Congratulations to you, Joan. I hope this gives you a minute to take a beat and appreciate the impact that you've made, though I know you're going to keep on pushing harder and harder and farther and farther.
Joan, congratulations on this award. It is truly inspiring to see someone with your dedication, your skills, and just your hard clinical work get a Lifetime Achievement Award like this. It's been a pleasure of my career to get to be one of your colleagues.